tell you something small about Tezos Ghana. And what Tezos Ghana is about is we are a foundation. And then what we do is that basically we educate people on blockchain. So what we look for problems around and we find solutions for the blockchain. So that's our main agenda. And the main agenda, I said, is education. So educate people about the blockchain, what you can do, the trending technologies that are in the blockchain. So let me tell you a little bit of the technologies in blockchain. But before that, what is blockchain? We are saying that blockchain is just like a decentralized ledger. For example, in our banking system, okay, let me say if you want to buy something with your Visa card, and let's say your bank is, let me choose Access Bank. Access Bank, okay? So if you have an Access Bank Visa card, and say you want to buy some nice dumbbell, I hope my drawing is nice. So from, let's say, from Gigi, okay, so you're going to use your Access Bank card. Now, once you initiate it, there's a signal that is sent to your bank. And the bank checks probably if this is maybe, if this is 50 cedis, the bank is going to verify that you have enough money in your account. So the record, the bank has a record. So probably your balance is 1,000 cedis, they will subtract 50 cedis, and that money is transferred to these people, and then they also record that, okay, now you have how much, 950 cedis left. So anytime you are having any transaction, it's from you, your bank is the intermediary, and in this place, these people are the last, and so we always have an intermediary. So this is me, goes to my bank, and then you go to Digi, okay? So always your bank is aware of what you are buying, how much you are buying it for, and stuff like that. But in the blockchain, it eliminates any central authority, okay? Blockchain. Transactions in the blockchain eliminates the bank, so there's no bank here. So what happens is that you are able to transfer 50 Ghana cedis to Digi without your bank knowing. And in that case, there are so many other people who are going to be in the network, who are going to be aware of the transaction between yourself and Digi. And everyone knows that, yes, okay, money has been transferred for me to Digi. Let's say that 50 cedis has been transferred, okay? So we have a balance of 950. Everyone knows your balance, but of course, they don't know your name. So we say that there's some level of anonymity in this whole thing. So I believe you get it. So blockchain is decentralized. So there's a keyword that they usually use. They say decentralized. It means that there's no central body. So for example, I want to buy something from Gigi, Access Bank servers are down, it means I can't buy it. But when it comes to blockchain, there's nothing like some servers are down somewhere because it is not run on a central node. So if one person's machine shuts down, there are several other people who are ready to verify the transaction and go. Is that okay? So that's what blockchain is about. So blockchain simply eliminates any central body and makes our transactions decentralized. So on this technology, there are so many things that have come out from the technology. We are going to look at that here. So let's look at the blockchain technology. Blockchain technology. So one of the most popular things that have come up are the cryptocurrencies. And I believe you have heard about cryptocurrencies. You have heard about Bitcoin, Dogecoin, and all those things. So cryptocurrencies are like digital money, and then they are built on the blockchain. So now you can transfer money to somebody. You don't need what we call the hard, the fiat currency. You can just send $100 to somebody in Italy. And then one interesting thing is that depending on which cryptocurrency you use, the charges are quite low. But when you try the banks, they are transferring money, $1,000 from from Ghana to another place, they are going to charge you ridiculously high. So that's one benefit of using the blockchain. So we have a technology called the cryptocurrency technology, and I believe you have heard of Bitcoin, heard of Ethereum. I believe you heard of Ethereum too, right? Right. And then today I want to tell you about Tezos. So we are from Tezos. So Tezos is actually a cryptocurrency. You can just write it down and then check it out later. Now, apart from blockchain, we have, apart from cryptocurrencies, we have something we call the DeFi, okay? That stands for decentralized finance. Decentralized finance. And with this decentralized finance, what it means is that now you can take a loan without a bank loan. Unlike those times when you go to the bank, you want a loan, they'll tell you to write your name, bring the guarantor, draw the direction to your house and things. No, in this new world, this is a new world we are in now. You can get a loan instantly without having to draw the map to your house and all those kind of things. You can also, so you can take a loan. You can also invest or save. So if I say invest, you can save and get interest. And these interests are insanely higher than what your banks give you. Sometimes you get a mobile money alert, 80 pesos for 3 months. But in this blockchain era, you can get as much as 30% APY, 30% a year, and that is really high. Right. So we have cryptocurrencies, we have DeFi, and then the last one, not the last one, but one other thing I want to talk about are the NFTs. Right, NFTs. So that is what we are actually going to talk about today. I hope it doesn't sound like one of the boring lectures that you have having in school. I hope you are following. Right, so we look at what blockchain is about. We've understood that, and then we've seen the kind of things that are coming out of the blockchain. The first is the cryptocurrencies, we know about them. The next is the DeFi, that is decentralized finance. And this is NFT. So what does NFTs actually stand for? And that is the main core of today's meeting. Okay, so NFT stands for non-fungible tokens. Non-fungible tokens. That is NFTs. So we're going to, in order to actually get the understanding of this whole thing, we need to break down what fungible means and what tokens are, so that we can put it together for it to make sense. So are you with me? So can we go on? Please, I'd like some response so that I know that I'm not alone here. Is that okay? Alright, so we're looking at NFTs, right? NFTs. Okay, but I believe you are all on Instagram or Twitter. Are we on Instagram? Yeah. You see that some people have some accounts, they'll put some correct must be there. Is it correct? Yeah. Right. Yes. Or I think it's the same for Instagram too. It's the star. It's the same thing. So Twitter. And is it everyone that has one there? Do your account be upside? No. So it is that don't give this kind of verification to everyone. They look at certain factors. Now we're going to look at those factors. And for example, you wake up one day, you're an artist, and Mr. Easy, let's say this is Mr. Easy's Instagram account. Okay. I'm sure he has them verified. When he sends you a message that he wants to put you in his music label, the Empower Music label, I believe you're going to be excited about it if you're an artist. But you wake up and there's another Easy B, there's nothing there, and he's telling you that come and join Empower. But you know Mr. Easy has a verified thing. What will come to your mind about this new Mr. Easy contacting you? How do you think about it? It's a fraud. Yes, it's a scam. So you know that this gives this blue check gives us some form of authenticity, right? Authenticity eliminates fraud. So eliminates fraud. I hope my handwriting is not too bad. Or counterfeit. Okay? And also it gives some sort of validation. Okay, give some sort of validation. And that is the whole concept about NFTs. So NFTs are simply here to give us some form of authenticity, eliminates fraud or counterfeit, and give validation. For example, if you have a 1 CD note, okay, and I take your 1 CD note and I give you 50 pesos, 2 of them, are you going to cry and say I've cheated you? And you will take it because you can exchange it. Okay. If I take your 10 Ghana CD and then I give you another, maybe I think each note has a different, okay, the 5 CD. If you have the old one and I take it and I give you the 5 CD, the new one, will you cry that because it's the new one, the value is not the same? It's the same thing. So that is what we call fungibility. So the fact that you can exchange one person for the other. Okay. Now, if it's the opposite, if anything is non-fungible, it means that it cannot be exchanged one for one. For example, I can't take this my brother here, and I say that since you are all boys and you have ears and you have nose and you have eyes, I can interchange you. So if you are my brother, I will take you as my new brother and send you home. It's not possible. So in the real world sense, most things are not fungible. You cannot just interchange them like that. For example, I can't give you this HP and I take this and I say they're all laptops. So why complain? I can't take your phone and take her phone and say they are all phones. So in the real world, most things are non fungible. So if anything is non fungible, it simply means that it cannot be exchanged one for one. You get it. So and a token is anything that has some sort of value. Okay, so if anything is a token, it has what we call value. It may not be money, but it has value. So in those times, the barter system, they can give you, say, they can say bring mirror and we'll give you gunpowder. In those times, their sense of value, they saw that it was something that was equal. So though mirror was not money, it was a token, you could exchange it for another thing. Okay, so I hope you understand what NFTs are. So basically, NFTs are, let me give you the definition I wrote, so that it makes sense. So I believe with the explanation of what it means if something is fungible, if it's non-fungible, and what is a token makes sense, right? So if something is non-fungible, it means they cannot be exchanged. So NFTs are simply tokens that live on the blockchain and represent ownership of unique items. So that is NFT. So we say NFTs. Let me write here. Please, I finish the paper before we go. So NFTs, we say that the first thing is they live on the blockchain. They live on the blockchain, and then they represent ownership. Ownership. So these are the two key points of NFTs. They live on the blockchain and they represent ownership. So we are going to look at the concept of NFTs and understand it very, very well. Now let me show you a nice picture here. So I want to show you a picture. So I hope you can see this photo. So for example, let's say that I designed this photo, okay? And then I sent it to my friend. Now, my friend also sends it to another friend. That friend sends it to another friend and she uses it for a GP. How are we going to trace who the original creator of this photo is? It's going to be difficult, right? It's going to be difficult, right? Because you can do your work, even as an artist here, you can do something, put on your status, people can just save your status without them, just save it, then they'll send it somewhere. Do you know that many times as an artist that people have sold your work without your knowledge? It will amaze you. Someone will just save your work somewhere and then they record it, they go and sell it without your knowledge. And this is what NFTs are here to solve. So what NFTs does is that it records certain properties about this picture on the blockchain. It doesn't actually put this picture on the blockchain. It just puts some properties there on the blockchain to prove that you are the owner. So when it puts the properties on the blockchain to prove that you are the owner, you can commence a transaction to transfer this particular NFT to another person. But take note that this person is not going to receive anything physical. So mostly the NFT space is mostly for digital stuff. Okay, so when we look at digital stuff, we'll go into it. What are the use cases and all that? So what happens is that some properties about this picture is put on the blockchain and then it's attributed to the owner. So on the blockchain, we can actually track who is the current owner and who is the creator. If it has exchanged hands about 100 times, we will know all the 100 people who have had possession of this picture and who is the current owner of it. I hope you understand. So that's NFT. So you make a design, you can mint, we have a keyword called mint, and that is just the process of converting your digital art into an NFT. It's called minting. So when you have your design, you can just choose to mint your NFT, and on the blockchain, everybody knows that so and so is the owner of this artwork. And if you then decide to sell it, it's now transferred to another person. and that person is going to have some characteristics on the blockchain to show that that person is the current owner, but not the creator. So on the blockchain, we can actually know who is the owner and who is the creator. Is that okay? So you see that now we are solving the problem of counterfeit stuff, counterfeit art. Someone will just take your artwork and go and sell it without your knowledge. You are able to track all that. So that is one advantage of the NFT space and all that. I hope you are understanding now. Does it make sense? Or it's too technical? So I'm not getting to the technical stuff. So technically, we say that NFTs are smart contracts. So let me just flip it to explain what a smart contract is. Okay? So we say that NFTs are nice. NFTs are smart contracts. Okay? When we say smart contracts, it's simply technically it's like a code which automatically executes certain instructions without any external force. Okay, so we say that NFTs are smart contracts, and they live. Okay, yeah, right. So technically, NFTs are smart contracts, and then so the NFT that represents your art contains a bit of information. I hope you can see it, or it's not too clear. So we are saying that the NFT that represents your art contains a bit of information about it, such as unique fingerprint of the file, a token name, and a symbol. So every NFT has a unique fingerprint, a token name, and a symbol. And as I said already, it is important for you to note that the artwork itself is not stored within the NFT or the blockchain. Only its attributes such as the fingerprint or the hash, because of the hash, or the file of the file, the token name and the symbol, and then optionally a link to the file. They put it on something called an IPFS, and it has a fancy meaning. That's where they store all NFTs. So it's not stored on the blockchain, but it's stored on something called the IPFS, and that is the interplanetary file system. As I said, it's a little fancy. Interplanetary file system. So that is where these NFTs are stored with the link. So anytime anyone buys it, the person can access the NFT with that link. Is that okay? So that's basically what NFTs are about. Alright, so let's continue. So your question is, then it means that if someone buys an NFT, no matter how expensive it is, you can have access to it. Yes, you can actually download the NFT. You can have it on your phone, use it as your DP. You can print it and put it in your room, but you don't have ownership. That's how NFTs work. So you are not bothered. And if anyone wants to legitimately buy it, they have to come to you. So somebody can use it, download it, whatever, has access to it. So the fact that you make your artwork an NFT doesn't mean that it is not in the eye of the public. Everybody can see. Everybody knows it, that you are the owner of it. Right. So let's quickly move on to what we call the use cases of NFTs. Okay. Okay, first of all, let me talk about why NFTs are useful. And I've already spoken about that for validation, so that you know that this is the original artwork. There's not going to be any fight that I created that, because on the blockchain we are able to know who created it and who is the owner. The second one is for verification and authenticity. So you need to verify that this is indeed original, not a fake. Then the last one is for ownership, right? So let me quickly go to the next one, use cases of NFTs. How are NFTs being used? The first one is, sometimes NFTs can be used to sell concert tickets. Okay, so when you go for an event, nowadays everything is digital. There can be an event such that the tickets are limited. So the tickets are all minted as NFTs. When you buy a particular ticket and it runs out, someone can choose to resell the ticket and not go for the event at a higher price. So that's how NFTs are used. The next is domain name. So www. something. People have it as NFT, so I can buy it. And if you want to get it from me, I sell it at a higher price. Okay. The next is rare in-game items. I know that those who play games, sometimes you'll be told to buy skins. You'll be told to buy certain powers and swords and things like that. So that is what is used in the NFT space, right? Another thing is real estate and houses and lands. Real physical properties, okay, can be put on the blockchain. And you know that we have a lot of litigation in Ghana. Someone says this land, I bought it first. someone says the chief sold it to me. Blockchain comes to solve that problem because when we go to the blockchain land, so and so, we know who the owner is, who was originally the owner, and who it was sold to. So blockchain can, NFTs can be used in that way. The next way is art. So that's one we know. In terms of art, you can just make your art as an NFT. The next way is music. Music. So they say for music, there are actually some artists who have jumped on NFTs to sell some of their albums and stuff like that. Okay. The next thing is GIFs. As you go, you see a GIF or a GIF as we are seeing, which was sold as an NFT at an outrageous price that will amaze you. Then the next thing is fonts. So you can create a font and also sell it as an NFT. Even clothing. Okay. And the last thing I want to talk about is the metaverse. I spoke about lands, that is physical lands, but we are getting to a point where we are selling virtual land. Okay. So there's a certain game called Decentralized. You can go and check it out. Decentralized. And in this game, they are doing something very insane. We wanted to watch a video, but probably we'll give you the link so that you watch it later. On Decentraland, what they do is that you have the opportunity to buy virtual lands and houses. Even lands, houses, billboard, build art galleries and all that virtually. Everything is virtual. So you can buy a land, virtual land, and you can actually develop it and someone will buy it from you. Okay. So some prices go as much as $100,000, $200,000, $1 million for a virtual land. Land that is not physical, it's in the game. That you use your VR lenses. So mostly you see that they put on the VR lenses and then you are watching. So you enter into a big city. You can go to your house, you can attend a concert in virtual reality. And people are buying houses virtually. So that is how crazy things are getting. And people are really making money from land that you can see, from spiritual lands. From spiritual lands and houses. So this is where the technology is leading us to. And I think that we are just scratching the surface because more insane things are about to happen. Right? So those are some of the use cases of NFTs, and probably we'll share a video with you later. Alright. And there are also shocking use cases. So let's move on to shocking use cases. Would you imagine that if you go to Twitter, right, and I go and search for my sister, I can see all her tweets. It's public, everybody can see. I don't even think on Twitter there's anything like private account. Everything is public. There's someone who decided to sell his first tweet for an amount of money, and that was the founder of Twitter. Do you know his name? Founder of Twitter. Who knows the founder of Twitter? Yes. Jack Dorsey. Jack Dorsey decided to sell his first tweet. So let's look at it. So he was like, okay, you want to buy this tweet? So what you see up here is his first tweet, right? And it was when you go to Twitter right now, you can try, pick your phone, go to Jack Dorsey, Twitter, use Twitter, you see his first tweet. His first tweet was, just setting up my own Twitter. That was his first tweet. And can you guess the amount of money someone bought? This thing, a picture, just you cut it. When you go to Twitter, you can just cut it. And it's on your phone. You know how much someone bought it for? Let's go to the next slide. Someone bought it for 2,915,835.47, including 0.47. Someone sold just the thing on top there for that amount of money. So someone has ownership that I own Jack Dorsey's first tweet. You can see it. You can print it and post it in your room. You can do whatever you want with it, but you don't own it. And that is the power of NFTs. I hope you get it. Alright, so let's go to the next thing. What are we going to talk about? I want to make it quick because, alright, so that's another shocking thing a couple decided to do out of love. What they did was they got married on the Ethereum blockchain. And how was that? They decided to, their wedding ring is physical. So they decided to immortalize it and put it on the blockchain. So instead of the wedding ring being physical, they made it an NFT. And it cost them $587 in transaction fees. Just transaction fees. Yes, fees to mint your NFT. It got Ethereum blockchain. I told you about blockchain and cryptocurrency. So some cryptocurrencies have their blockchain, and Ethereum is one. Okay, so these people decided to get married on the blockchain. That's another shocking use case of NFTs. I don't know who is picking inspiration or wants to try that. Right. So let's continue. We are going to look at companies and individuals using NFTs. So one interesting thing is that it has gone mainstream. Okay, so it's not something, it's not a secret that some small people are doing. So let's look at the companies and individuals in NFTs. Alright, so Coca-Cola. Coca-Cola had an NFT auction and it's fetched them more than 575,000. So they have also gone into NFTs. So they had some collectibles that people bought. And then after their sales, they were able to make over half a million. Well, they said they are going to give to charity, so it's good news. Next, Yahoo and Line are also working to launch an NFT trading. So Yahoo is also venturing into the NFT space. McLaren, I don't know who knows McLaren, they are this racing company. They have also partnered with Tezos. Come again? Yeah, cars. And also they have these cars for those racing and all those things we see with their helmets and stuff. Right. So they have also partnered with Tezos, yes. They partnered with us to have an NFT platform. Let's continue. Marvel, I believe you all know Marvel, the movie likeness. They have also ventured into NFT. They unveiled their first official NFT and it was Spider-Man. So now you can own the Spider-Man NFT. It is yours. It is on the net. You can all watch it, but someone owns it and has the right to it. Next. CNN also went into NFTs. Okay? CNN sold their historic news moments as NFTs. So they have something called historic news moments and they decided to sell it as an NFT. Next. And we have some billionaires and celebrities who have also jumped on it. So we have Mark Cuban, Lindsay Lohan. I don't know who that is. Who knows Lindsay? Am I mentioning it? Lindsay Lohan. Anyone who knows that lady? No one. Oh, well, they all also jumped into the NFT space. Can we move on? And we also had some other people, those celebrities there. We also have people like Mike Tyson, Snoop Dogg, all those people have jumped into the NFT space and they are really cashing in big on it. Right, so next. So not only individuals, but countries have also gotten into NFTs. So Germany commemorated their Euro 2020 soccer team with NFTs. So they decided to commemorate their Euro 2020 soccer team and they did it with NFTs. I think France also did something, not with the Euro 2020, but something else. Let's continue. And we have Afen Blockchain Group to launch a Nigerian-backed NFT marketplace. So actually, the Nigerian government has given the go-ahead to a certain African blockchain group called Afen, and they are also launching an NFT marketplace. So NFT is going big. Governments are getting involved. Very big companies are getting involved, and also individuals like you and I can get involved. And one thing is that it's not just for artists. Okay, we saw music. We saw fashion. And in case you are not even into any of those things, you can just be a collector. And what you do as a collector is you buy the NFTs, you keep them, and you flip it. So you buy an NFT for $50 and you can flip it for $200. And people have done it. It's possible. Alright. So let's look at some most expensive NFTs sold. And this just get your mind ready to be blown away by the things you're going to see next. So the most expensive is people. I don't know how many of you saw this. He sold this JPEG file. Okay, let me not say it. JPEG file for $69 million. JPEG file. It's not anything serious. And what made up this JPEG file is a collage. Like how you can do collage of your pictures. He did a collage of some artworks he has done over a period of time. I say 5,000 artworks. And he put it together to give that. And then someone bought it for $69 million. Someone with a pseudonym Metacova. Yeah. So he bought that for $69 million. So $69 million, just like that with JPEG file. Let's move on. I don't know how many people have heard of CryptoPunks. This was the first ever NFT that was minted on the Ethereum blockchain in 2017. In 2017, it was selling as low as $100. Some of them were selling for $100. And these are unique 1,000 collectibles, okay? Let's look at the prices of some of these now. Okay? So next slide. So this picture you see there, this pixel, I can't even call it a picture. That's a pixel. And that pixel is called PAN 8402, okay? And let's see the price. The price is 4,379,924. I'm not talking about Ghana cedi. Even if it was Ghana cedi, it was serious. But this is US dollars. 4 million, over 4 million US dollars. Someone owns it. This one, I can print it, put it on my DB. But someone has ownership rights to this picture. No, pixel for over 4 million each. Let's continue. That is another pixel. And this one sells for over $1 million. This is a crypto pack. So some of these, you can write it down. When you have time to see that I'm not telling stories. So you go check people, you go check crypto punks, right? Crypto punks. So that's a crypto punk, and this is over $1 million. Let's continue. Yes, this you see here is a gift. It's a gift, like the ones you have been when someone sends you a WhatsApp message, it's funny, you send a gift like that. So that's a gift. I don't know why it's not there. It's a gift. So that's a gift. That's a Nyan cat. And this gift was sold for $631,875 US dollars. 631,000. So that is a gift. And we just see how it looks like. If it is. We just want to simulate it for you to see. Alright, but I hope you are learning. So this is how it's simply. This is a gift. Something as simple as this. It's selling for 631,000. Alright. I believe some of you can do better arts than that. So you're wondering what is it with this. So we get to know why are they selling for millions? Like what is it? What's the big deal about this? Let's continue. Alright, so we have something called NBA Top Shots. It's a company. What they do is that they capture moments in the basketball. So when someone is about to dunk or something, nice, they call it ball, is it basket? Yes. They're able to capture those short moments. So if this thing you see here is just a 21-second video, and someone bought it for what was the price? 387,600. This was a moment where I think within the run, yes, LeBron James, he was scoring well called a basket. So it was just a 21-second video, and someone has ownership to it. You can go to YouTube, type that game and watch it. Cut that part and use it for your screensaver, whatever. But you are not the owner to it because someone has bought it for free over 200. Just for one. This presentation is not supposed to be. So you ask yourself, why are some NFTs worth millions? Why are they worth millions? Let's go on. What are some of the reasons? So the whole thing is that their worth is determined by what people are willing to pay for it. That is it. Someone feels like that cat we saw there is expensive, so you want to pay that amount of money for it. So their worth is just determined by what people are willing to pay for it, and this is where the trick comes in. You have to be careful. Because after buying Jack Dorsey's first tweet for over 2 million, if you come to me, I should buy that, I won't buy it. So whether you are going to make profit or not is if someone is going to see that tweet as more valuable than you see it. I hope you get it. So that's why some tweets are just, that's why some of the NFTs are just too expensive. I hope you get it. So if someone is willing to pay for it, they can pay a huge amount. But I don't know who would like to pay more than $2 million for that rate. What about 1 cedi? Maybe 1 cedi, someone will not. So if that guy comes to the Ghanaian population and you have come to resell that to us, you go poor. Because maybe some people will buy that. That's for me. I don't think I will ever spend money on that. So that is why some of these NFTs are insanely expensive. And the thing is that cryptocurrency has made many people rich unexpectedly. They didn't expect that a coin they bought in 2017, okay, 2017 for 0.1. So this is 10 cents. In 2021, that same coin is $300. So you can imagine the amount of money the person has made. If you bought only 100 of these, which is even too small, the person will be around $30,000. And mostly people would have bought more than 100. So people are very rich. So some of them are actually too overwhelmed by their wealth. And some also do not actually know what to do with their work. So they feel like these are assets that they should invest in. Just as how we have collectors. When you go to auction houses, you have collectors who collect art and all that. You think that why is this person buying this? Because he thinks that later on, there's going to be value out of it. Okay, so why are some of the crypto worth millions? Because people are willing to pay for it. And the next is because of the rarity of the NFT. It's like it's so rare. It is one in a lot. It is unique. So because of the uniqueness, it is quite expensive. Okay. So let's go to the next thing. So we've talked so much about how people are earning and what you want to earn and all that. But the question is, what are the opportunities in the NFT space? If you're an artist, what opportunities are there? If you are a collector, what opportunities are there? So let's explore them. Alright. The first opportunity is that I've explained the word mint. Okay, you can mint your art and earn from the sales and the royalties. One very nice thing about NFTs is that after this is me, okay, I mint my NFT. This is my NFT, and someone buys it for me. Okay, this is $100. Someone buys it for me. Mr. Y buys it for me $100. And if Mr. Y is selling it on the secondary market, we call it. If Mr. Y buys for me and is selling it, we call it the secondary market. If Mr. Y is selling it on the secondary market for $200, it's an exchange. It's the most popular exchange in the world. They have a lot of volume, right? And then they have a marketplace called the Finance NFT. So this is a Nigerian and he has some aspects there. It's really doing well. According to an interview, he commands 5 figures for every artwork. So that is huge. The next is FI. He's a rapper. You know him. And that tells you that NFT is not just for artists, but also music. You will be launching some of his musical works in the NFT space very soon. So look out for that. Apart from that, we have the Uganda National Museum. What we are doing is that you can see that these are physical works. But how can these physical works become an NFT? We'll talk about that. So the museum have taken it upon themselves that not only are they going to be localized in Uganda, they are also putting their works out there in the NFT marketplace. The big question is, how do you convert your art into an NFT? I believe that's what you're thinking about. So if it's a physical art, the first thing you can do is you can scan it into a digital art. So for example, you draw on the paper, you can just scan that art and then you have it as an NFT. And some people go the extreme of burning the original work. So they actually set up a camera and burn the original work so that it gives the impression and some assurance to whoever buys the artwork that that is the only unique copy. So probably I draw something on the paper. After scanning it and I have the digital one, I'll set it up and burn it and take a video recording of it. When you go to YouTube, there was a certain artwork which some people bought and then they burnt it and streamed it for everyone to see that they have burnt it. So it's only one unique work, right? Or you can also take a photograph. So like that, then you see there is a photograph, okay? So it's let's say this is my artwork. I can just take a photograph of the back. It becomes a little bit technical. When you take a photograph of it, the artwork does not become the NFT. It is the photograph. So what some people do is that they give an assurance that when you buy this NFT, I'm going to deliver the physical artwork to you. So that is how some people go about it. And the next thing is that maybe the people will not take a photograph, they will just embed an NFT chip. So what you see there is that this artwork has an NFT chip embedded in it. So when someone scans it, it will take you to the NFT marketplace and this particular artwork has been listed. So that is how you can go about it. So it's not just for digital work. If you have a physical artwork, you can as well as turn it into an NFT. So I've spoken a lot about how to convert or mint your artwork. So where exactly can you do this minting? Okay, where is this minting done? So there are so many NFT platforms. We just look at a few of them. We have the first one. You can try to pronounce it. Who can try to pronounce it? Anyone? KNUST. Okay, KNUST. The next NFT platform is Calamont. We have another one called OpenSea. We have Rarible. We have Bakery Swap. We have Binance NFT platform. We have so many. Nifty Gateway. There are so many, right? So we can't look at all of them. But in this training session, it's not just about talk. We are practically going to mint an NFT for you to see and see how simple it is for you to do it on your own. But make sure that one thing is that you have to ensure that the NFT, the artwork is yours. Don't go and take your friend's artwork and go against it. I beg you. In some of these African places, sometimes it's not a big deal. But in those international markets, when they see it, they can sue you. And then you will be liable to pay a lot of money. So these are some of the NFT marketplaces. So how do you get paid? So I put my NFT there. How do I get paid? I get paid in cryptocurrency. And that is one very interesting thing about it. Because when you mint your NFT for $50 and it's equated to maybe 0.2 V, okay, the cryptocurrency is called V. So when you receive 0.2 V on 1st August 2021, there's a possibility that 1st August 2022, the 0.2 V you took, which was $50, can become $200. And that is the opportunity with being paid in cryptocurrency, because cryptocurrency can either rise or fall. But what we have seen so far from history, the long-term trajectory is that it's always increasing. Though it can fall, those have been following. They have heard that Bitcoin has fallen, cryptocurrencies are falling. But even though they are falling, no matter how hard they fall, they're going to rise again, right? So when you mint your NFT, you'll be paid in cryptocurrency. So cryptocurrency is a digital currency which runs on the blockchain. I've explained that already. Examples are Bitcoin, Ethereum, Tezos. Okay, so we know of Bitcoin, we know of Ethereum, and we are from Tezos, so you can also be paid in Tezos. Now, how do you get cryptocurrencies? They are simply bought from exchanges, because of the exchanges. So it's like a marketplace, like how we have Edum and all those places. When you go to Edum, you can buy your cassava and give them CDs. But in the crypto space, we have exchanges where you can give them fiat currency, maybe Ghana cedi. You can give them Ghana cedi, you can give them US dollars, and they'll give you cryptocurrency. Once you get your cryptocurrency, how do you store them? You can store them in something called digital wallets. Okay. So with the wallets too, we have the hot wallets and the cold wallets. You have the custodial, non-custodial. We won't go into that. But just know that just as you have money, when someone says, I've sent you mobile money, okay, you can ask which network. Maybe use Tigo and use MTN. So if I've sent you money, say which network did you send it to? Oh, I sent it on MTN. It means MTN is a network. In this case, MTN is the blockchain through which you receive the money. Okay. Now, when you receive the money, where does it go to? Does it go to your email? No, it goes to your mobile money wallet. So that is your digital wallet and is storing your money, right? So now we know how we are going to be paid when we mint an NFT and someone buys it. So the question is, how do you actually mint your NFT? And we are going to focus on the platform KNUST. So this is for artists, the artists here. If you're an artist and you want to mint your NFT, how do you go about it? So in the first place, KNUST, let me tell you a little bit about KNUST. It's an NFT marketplace and it's built on the Tezos blockchain. Okay, when we take the cryptocurrency and the various digital currencies, they run on some blockchains. Some run on their own blockchains. Others have borrowed blockchains to be running on. Okay. So, for example, Bitcoin has its own blockchain. Ethereum has its own blockchain. Tezos has its own blockchain. But there are so many other cryptocurrencies that do not run on their own blockchain. They have borrowed either the Tezos blockchain, they have borrowed either the Bitcoin and other ones. So there are so many meme coins out there that you hear the name, you see that no, these people, they're not using their own blockchain, they're using their own blockchain. And then KNUST simply is a Latin word which means here and now. And then one advantage is that KNUST, it is cheaper to mint your NFT compared to other platforms. I've already told you how expensive it is to mint your NFT on Ethereum. Okay, so let's continue. So before you can mint your NFT, what do you need? You need what we call the Tezos wallet, because you'll be using the Tezos blockchain. Okay,
And the wallet you'll be using here is called a Tempo wallet. Then you need some Tezos. You can buy it from an exchange. You need the NFT platform, of course. And that's what we have, Hick and Nank. And you need to have a good social media profile or website. Now, how is this important? I told you that the Twitter guys don't just give anybody a check. They are looking at sometimes your following and your impact. In the same way, if anyone wants to buy an artwork from you, they need to see that you are not just a random guy who has just put some artwork online. You want to know whether you are actually serious about it. So sometimes it's very good to have a social media profile, maybe Instagram account showing a portfolio of your works. Also, you can have a personal website that people who want to buy the NFTs from you can go to see if you are actually a legit person or you are not just going to steal someone's work and you are minting it. So we'll do a demonstration right now. So the next slide is what next after minting your NFT. So we'll do a quick demonstration about how you can mint an NFT. So we have an artwork. Our artwork is the flyer for this event. Okay, so we did it ourselves. So we have an artwork. So we want to mint this artwork. So we're just going to go through the steps quickly. Okay. So let's go. We are going to use a platform called Hick and Nank. So let's go to Hick and Nank. So you just type Hick and Nank. Or let's start from the beginning. You need a wallet. And that wallet I told you is called the Tempo wallet. So let's go to the Tempo wallet. You can just Google Tempo wallet. So that's the first thing you do. Google Tempo wallet. Alright, so the first one that comes, just check there's not an ad. So you see that Tempo wallet is a cryptocurrency wallet for Tezos blockchain. I hope you can all see. Alright, and install or the code. Now this extension gives you a wallet on your PC. Okay. When it comes to your phone, you can have your wallet on your phone. So it's an app you can download. But here, you can also have a software as a wallet. But in this case, we don't want to stress. We just want to use a browser extension as a wallet. So you go through the process. So you download it.
Right.
We have already downloaded it. So after you have downloaded your wallet, you see that they will tell you that it has been attached to the code. The next thing is that we are going to our website, Hick and Nank. So let's type Hick and Nank. I think this will be my last. So I'm using a paper. So you just type Hick and Nank. Hick and Nank. Okay, so you can just search for Hick and Nank. So let's go, just search for Hick and Nank. Okay, let's just go to Hick and Nank. Alright, so the platform is about to load. And when it loads, you see that already there are some people who have put their artwork out there. So it looks like an old, kind of old feel of a website. So this is hen. So you can see that all these are artworks. Let me scroll down to see some artworks. So please go slowly. Yeah. So these are all artworks that people have put there and they are selling it. Okay. And you see that this thing here. This is a wallet address. Okay, that's why it's good for you to actually go and create a wallet at the Tempo wallet. So when you go to Tempo wallet, you'll be given a wallet address for your Tezos wallet. Okay, so we're using Tezos, so you're given a Tezos wallet, and that wallet is going to be connected to the Hick and Nank platform. So let's go down. So you see the artworks that are there. And let's just click on one and see. Let's click on this artwork. So we can see that this artwork is selling for 1/10. Okay. So 1/10, that's the price you see there. And I think as of today, Tezos is hovering around $3. So it means this is selling for $3. So it means that apart from those ridiculous prices we are hearing, as starters, you can actually put your artwork out there, and don't expect to put $1 million there and to really sell, because people who sell those kind of artworks for ridiculous prices, they already have a following, they have an audience, and they are professionals and well established. But if you are coming up, you just have to price you have to go moderately, and as you increase and you grow in audience, you can increase it up. Alright. So now let's go up. um, let's go up. You see, they will tell us to synchronize our.
Yeah.
Let's go to the home page. Just click on the hand and let it refresh. Right. So go up there. Yeah, I think we can't see it on the board. And then you see that they will tell us we have already connected our wallet to the platform. Actually, when you sign in afresh, you see something, they will tell you to synchronize. So this is in sync. So if you really want to sync, let's click on it. Want to sync. So what you are doing is you are just syncing your wallet to the platform. So that's the first thing you need to do. You always have to synchronize your wallet to the platform. Don't worry if you don't get it. We will do a more detailed tutorial on this. Okay, so don't worry, we'll be moving a little bit faster. We'll have a more detailed tutorial. We have videos that we do. You can also ask questions on one-on-one basis after this. This is just to introduce you to it. Now, if you want to send, they'll ask you which wallet you want to use. And you can see that there are many wallets. We have is it a Spiral wallet, Tempo wallet, Galleon, Kukai, Umandi, AirGap wallet. But we created a wallet with Tempo, meaning that if you don't want to use Tempo, you can use the other wallets. But we use Tempo. So let's click on Tempo. Yeah. So you have to put in the password. It doesn't see. Alright. Looks like we have forgotten our password. So we have to go through the process all over again. So all we do is
Wait.
So, alright, so at this stage, maybe if you have questions, let's take questions. You're almost coming to the end of the presentation. But I believe this has been useful to you. You have learned a thing or two. But if you have any questions,
Let me use a different one.
okay. So we're going to use a different wallet. So maybe that will give us the opportunity to learn how to go about it.
Just do that.
I want to go to the template days. Okay, let's just use the API. It doesn't see the information. Let's go in. Alright, so any questions so far? Any questions? You can ask any question from any angle. And we'll be having a giveaway here. I told you we are from Tezos, Ghana. So we'll be giving away Tezos. And we'll ask a few questions. You can answer, you have some Tezos. And we'll also give you some tags. If you can go through the tags, we'll give you Tezos. Okay. So at least, if you are scared to venture into the crypto space, you're going to get some free crypto so that you can actually experience cryptocurrency and know how it is. And if you're an artist after here, you can give some Tezos to mint at least one Tez to start minting your works and start making money. So there are many goodies here and we are hoping it. Okay, so you have a question? Okay.
I want to ask you, how much traffic does Tezos, the marketplace,
The hand.
and how popular is it such that like people know about this?
Know about it, okay.
How much?
Very, very good question. Hen is one of the largest platforms on the internet. Okay. When it comes to exchanges, however it's with Binance is the biggest. When it comes to NFT spaces, they have OpenSea, which is very popular because it's an integration of other all platforms. But Hen is also catching up. One reason is that people are looking for something called clean NFTs. Clean. And I'm going to tell you why you're looking for clean NFTs. Most of these platforms which are built on Ethereum, there are so many allegations that Ethereum uses proof of work, meaning that it consumes so much energy and releases carbon into the environment. So it's destroying the environment. Right? But Tezos is not a proof of work cryptocurrency, it's proof of stake. So it secures its network when the delegators or people on the blockchain commit some money. So because of that, Tezos blockchain does not use energy, it does not destroy the environment. Because of that, people are moving to the Tezos platform. Also, to add to this, on your own, you go check on Hen and read about it. Is it really popular? How is it doing? And you can also make your own decisions from how it. Now, when it comes to the exchanges, of course, Binance is the largest. You have others like Coinbase, and the crypto.com and other ones that are coming. But when we come to this space, we have the most popular, which came first, and hen is also doing great. Okay. Alright, so now we want to list an NFT. So they'll ask you for the title of the artwork. So maybe, as artists, some of you have some kind of attachments to your artwork or why it came about. So you can have it. But ours is very simple. Tezos Ghana's first NFT conference flyer. So that's the title, the description. So you just describe your artwork, what it's about. Okay, so we are also typing some description there. Yeah, it's okay. That's our description. And then you target in such a way that when someone comes to the platform, they can search for your work using the hashtags. Okay? So we are going to target with Ghana, Tezos Ghana, and then Tezos. So if anybody, Tezos Africa. So if anybody goes to a hand platform, they can actually look for it with their tags. And then additions there is very important. You need to be very intentional about the additions, right? So you see additions. Right, the addition simply means how many of the artwork are you making available for sale. So the lower the addition, mostly the more rare it is, so it's highly priced. The higher the addition, you can price it lower. So if you say you want to put out 100 editions and price each of them $5, when all those editions are bought, you are having $500, which is not bad. Okay, so we want to just hit one, right? Just one edition. So we could have chosen 2, 3, 4, 5, one for everyone. So let's say 10. Let's just make it 10. Alright, so 10. Then royalties. What percentage do we want when someone resells it? So we want 10%, and that is the standard in the industry. Okay, normally you get is about 10%. Right. So now we go to upload objects. That's what you see there. And because it's a very artistic website, they don't write objects, they wrote OBJKT to object. So we have uploaded it. We chose Tezos Ghana. So these are art we want to these are art we want to do. So let's go back. Right.
You can put anything there.
You can put any artwork you have there. Okay. Once you take it up, it can be a GIF, it can be a video, it can be a music, whatever it is. You can do that. Now let's go to mint object. So you can see the white bar there says mint object. So you click on it. Now it's preparing. One thing is that anytime you interact with the blockchain, there will be some fees. And that's why I told you that Ethereum fees are insanely high. But for Tezos fees, very, very low. So you see it for yourself when we are minting. So we are minting the object and you are saying preparing object. So let's wait for it to be prepared. And as we wait, if you have any questions, you can. To take a while. So if you have any questions, you can. Or maybe let me just go on with the presentation. So by the time we finish minting. So let's assume we are finished minting and it is on sale. So what do we do next after we mint our... Alright. So the question is, that's a big question. What's next after minting your NFT? So our NFT, we're able to mint it. Now let's say we are selling it for $10 and it's on the marketplace. What's next? Do you think that you want to wake up tomorrow with and you have sales? It doesn't work like that. There's hard work everywhere. No matter how smart for that. After you mint your NFT, you need to have realistic expectations. Okay? You need to have realistic expectations. Don't mint it right now in 2 hours time. You're expecting it to be sold. In fact, some artists took so long to have their first sale online. Even selling artwork physically, you know how it is. How much more online? So you need to have realistic expectations and be aware that, of course, you need to put in some hard work, and we're going to talk about it. So the hard work I'm talking about is marketing. You need to market your NFTs, and Twitter is a very, very good place to market your NFT. So for example, after you have listed it, you can go and post that this is my NFT, hashtag #HakeandLang. So anybody who hashtags #HakeandLang can follow and see your artwork and then can go to the platform to buy it. So Twitter is a very, very good place to market your NFT. Also Instagram. I talked about the fact that you need to have a social media profile. Okay, so you can also market on Instagram, on Telegram. There are groups. For example, Tezos NFT has a group. KNUST also has a group. So you can go there and market your work for people to come and buy. Discord, YouTube, and also into YouTube, the crypto physical space, especially the NFT space, is a very good place to have content because it is quite competition is quite low, especially with NFTs. So you could consider that. So you could market your NFTs after minting them. Don't just put it down and close your laptop and expect that the next day you have 1,000 sales. It doesn't work like that. You need to market. The next is you need an NFT platform. You need a very good social media offer. Right. So thank you. This is basically the end of our presentation. I don't know if you have questions, but first of all, let's go and check on our NFT if it has been minted now. And the minting is not a technical thing. Okay, the platform takes care of any technical things. But before we go on, please you can check us check us out at Twitter.
Follow
At
us.
Tezos. Yes, follow us there. And then we are going to also post some of the excerpts from this event here, so you can follow us there. So let's check out our item, whether it's ready. It's still preparing. Okay, alright, so I told you that always, anytime you are interacting with the blockchain, you need to pay some small fees, okay? So we are using a new wallet, that's the Kokai wallet. We didn't use the temple because we forgot the password. But make sure you don't forget your password when it comes to these things, because especially if you are having custody of your own funds, you are giving something called private keys. And if you forget your private keys, no one can help you. You can have $1 million there. Once you forget your private keys, you can't retrieve your funds. Okay? So that's it about crypto. Though it looks nice and interesting, you have to be very responsible. Right? So because we didn't confirm the transaction, that is why it was still preparing. So let's just hope that it will be able to prepare it very quickly. But as we wait, any questions? You can ask questions from any platform.
You were there.
Yes, question and answer time. We've done quite a lot. Okay, yeah.
If you speak about you having to put your real estate,
Yes,
but
yes.
it says you only pick a land. You only speak about the artistic aspect.
Yes, those Hick and Nank is for digital assets. There are actually some other platforms that are meant for real estate. Okay. So the things I spoke about, Hick and Nank is mainly for digital work, gifts, videos, and those things. But when it comes to real estate and those other things, there are other platforms to it. We will be giving you more information on that. So if you're interested, there was actually a Ghanaian startup. I don't know whether they still went on or not. But what they are doing is that they were registering their lands in Ghana on the blockchain, so that we will solve the litigation problem. No one will say the chief sold it to me, the cousin sold it to me, and then there's fights. On the blockchain, you are actually able to know who is the owner of the land and all that. So we'll dig into that later. Yes, as time goes on. We are going to have a community. You can join our community and employ you to do that so that you can learn more about it. We can't talk about everything today. This space is so big that we can't even exhaust it in a million years, and that's the truth. So that is it. All right. So I don't know. Is it ready? Okay. As it gets ready, any more questions? But with the Decentraland, the virtual world, we have Decentraland, we have Sandbox. So go and Google them. We actually have a video for you, so maybe if there's time and those who want to watch it can stay and watch. Okay. So Decentraland, Sandbox. These are the two places where you can buy a virtual land. You can develop real estate in a virtual land. You can sell it. You can have a billboard there and people will pay you to advertise on it. You can have conferences in a place. You know, it's amazing. It's very interesting. So you're going to watch it. Alright, so that is it. Right now, we can see our NFT is showing here. But we have one more step to do. So let's go and manage our assets. Manage our assets. Right, manage assets. And when we go there, you can see, let's scroll down a little bit. Okay, so go to swaps. I think you have to click on it. So when we click on it, right now you can see something vital here. They said not for sale, meaning that we have not yet put a price tag on it. Alright, so we need to put a price tag on it. So we have info, collections, history there. So let's put a price Let's how much should we sell it? 2 tests, 3 tests. Let's just what do you put?
I'm putting 10 tests.
10 tests. Okay. So that's the amount you want to. And 10 tests will hover around $30. So you press on you click swap and NFT will be minted. Right? So that's just the process. It's not any doesn't require programming.
So we have, we said we have 10. Okay, so the price will be 2.5.
Okay, 2.5 tests. So this one. Alright. So that is it. Minting does not require any programming. You don't need to be a programmer. The platform takes care of everything. So right now, this our flyer will be on the Tezos blockchain. It has information that indeed we are the owners. Anyone who buys it, you can follow up like that. Right. So any more questions? Any questions? This is basically the entire presentation. Any questions? Any questions? Any questions? So you can check out the Decentralized and Sandbox. That is the home of virtual reality. Okay, we can show the video. We can show the video. It's not long. It's just it's long, but we'll just show you 2 minutes of it. Okay. So that you know how the whole virtual reality thing works. And after this video, we call it a day. Right? Maybe if you want to go do something, you can leave. Right now, we have actually told you everything you want.
Yeah, but so I think the next thing is we don't want to just give you as you said, so we'd like to take your contact information. We have a WhatsApp group, you can add it there. And if in the future you want to do an NFT or you want to mint one of the art or something, or you want to start, you can just contact any of us on the page and then we can help you walk you through. Or we just do a demonstration, so we're not expecting that you know everything, right? But once you're ready, when you're ready to do something. And I'm saying that don't wait for something big, right? I'm sure as actually you might have something, right? It doesn't have to be like the way she mentioned, like there are various ways you can convert the art, the physical art you have to NFTs. You can even take a nice picture of it and put a nice in the place you saw the description, that's a nice description, we advertise it, everything. So actually the thing is, right now if someone wants to do it, actually once you be able to walk you through and do everything, we can actually also promote it on our Twitter, right? So you can tell the Tezos community that we have our first artist who is putting their art on the blockchain or on the Tezos blockchain. So to draw some eyeballs and maybe probably someone can easily look at it online. So just don't try to wait and say, okay, I'm waiting for the big for myself to do the big art before whatever work you have if it's good. Because if you look at what we're showing,
look at the
you
things
see
we
what
showed you.
things people want to do, right? And just put it out there. Right? That's important. That's the first thing. So the first thing is we are waiting for the first people to come forward, say, okay, I'm ready, I want to put something there. We'll help you walk you through, and then we'll publish what we will announce it on our platform, on our teaser, on our Twitter that this person is doing this, that. We announce it for you. Right? And that's the first thing. And actually it doesn't cost anything to put.
We will actually take care of the fees for you, the meeting fees. So don't think about anything. If you are ready, just come. Maybe for the first 10, 20 people, we'll take care of your meeting fee and we'll also help you with the marketing I spoke about. We have an artist called Jelite. There's this artist that I know, and then I wanted us to learn something from his Instagram profile, but we couldn't do that. So I'll give you that artist profile. You can learn about how to build a good social media influence and create a good community. Okay, so I'll send you the handle later. You can please do want to follow him. You're going to learn a lot from his art too.
So now you see it has changed to.
Yeah, I'll send it to you. Put it in the post.
And it has changed to collect for
2.5 times.
So now it's on the marketplace.
Anybody can buy it. Yes. And when they buy it, the money will come straight to our wallet when we collect it.
So it can randomly pop up. You can see it is showing here.
Yes, it's showing you. So anyone who goes to Hen, if you like go to KNUST right now, you see that our work is on the front page, right? And one pro tip is that it's good for you to list your work when those other countries are up. Let's say they are awake, it's daytime, they're active. So with that one, they can see it easily. Because KNUST has some appearance in such a way that when you list it, it just comes to the front page. So it will be good if you're able to list it when, let's say, America is up, Europe is up, so that they can see the artist. So you see that someone's work there, and you can see that there are so many interesting works out there. This is going for 2 tiers. So for the collectors, the same way, when you go to KNUST, you can choose to buy space. As we said, you are waiting for the first artist to come. And if you are interested in cryptocurrency, investing in cryptocurrency, knowledge in cryptocurrency space, that is what we do every time. So you can ask your questions and we are ready. If you are some programmers here too, you want to develop applications on the blockchain, we can train you. We'll be actually having a training maybe in September or something. So we'll keep you updated. It's going to be in Kumasi. So if you want to be a programmer and all that, or you want to learn, you're a programmer and you want to learn about how to build solutions on the blockchain, you can do that. Alright, so if there are no questions, we are going to have a question time. If you can answer, we give you some tests. After that, we'll also send you a website that you can follow and do some social tags so that you get some Tezos. So are we ready for our questions? I'll just give 2 questions. Alright, so what should my first question be? Anyone to ask a question? Once I ask my question, we are done with this session. And please, I would like to say that we want to take experiences. How about what you have learned from this? So you have the cameras. If you are not shy, you want to talk, you can talk about it. What you have learned here. And then it's going to be on our Tezos platforms. People in Europe, everywhere, Tezos everywhere, they're going to see that, okay, this guy came for this and then he likes this.
So this is also our website.
Yeah, this is our website.
Tezos.com. And there's our Twitter.
So yeah, that's our Twitter.
So last time we held a program here.
Yeah, we had a program online. Yeah.
Okay.
Alright, so my first question. Okay, what is the name of the the process of converting your digital art, your art into an NFT? What did I say it is? Okay, I saw this from oh, don't worry, you came from the back, it's okay. Yeah. What is the name? Minting. Okay, that's good. Let's give that for him. Yeah. Okay, minting. Alright, my next question. Okay. Alright, let me think about something interesting. I showed you a number of NFT works that sold for outrageous prices. Can you tell me the names of some of these NFTs? Hey, no, I want another person. Okay, now, people. Okay, that's great. Let's give it up for him. People. Who else has another one? No. I want someone. CryptoPunks. That's amazing. That's amazing. Let me look for another thing. Right. I gave you some names of NFT platforms apart from KNUST, which we all know. What are some other platforms I remember? So I'm taking note of all those who are answering. Okay. Bakery swap. That's fantastic. So please, all those answering, we are owing you Tezos. Yeah. Calamint. What? Let me take the one back there. OPC. You wanted to say something. Maybe I'm adding you. Rarible. Alright, you've all done amazing work. Thank you for your time. Let's give it up for ourselves. Alright. So thank you for your patience. I believe you have learned something. As we said, we want to take your contact. So if you are willing, we'll have a sheet here. I think you have a sheet. Yeah, we'll have a sheet here. You just write your name for us. Yeah, okay. So you just write your name and your contact. You want to join our community. Those who are going Tezos, please come give us your contact so that we can contact you. We'll give you the process. You download an app. We will send you your Tezos. As simple as that. I hope we had a great time. I hope you have learned something. So the next time we will be doing more of these things here. It can be something else the next time. So remember the artists, if you have an artwork, please bring it on board. We will publish it for you, we will help you market, and we'll actually tell you how to build a good social media profile for that. Right. So thank you for your time, and we are basically done.
All right, my name is Samuel Ejapon from the Faculty of Built Environment, KNUST. And I must say that being part of Tezos Ghana's NFT training was one that was very interesting. I learned a lot about cryptocurrencies, about blockchains, and how to actually monetize my art on the blockchain. I think it's something that all of us should, learn about it and then make good use of it. I would urge all my friends that if there's a training next time, we should all do well to join and be a part of it. Thank you.
So I'm Genesis, I'm a music artist, and hearing about this program and also coming to experience it, I'm grateful to Tezos Ghana. Yeah, and it's great for me because I'll be able to put my music out there. And also, my friends that are into art, all forms of art, I'll be able to introduce it to them. And it's also, another thing I'm grateful for is the fact that my interest in cryptocurrency has been hyped up. And I'm really going to look more into it and then invest into it. Yeah, and it's awesome. I'm grateful. Yeah, Tezos Ghana. Thank you.
NFTs are great and all. But after learning about the high transaction fees of Ethereum, it really put me off. But thanks to the low prices of Tezos, my interest in it has been rekindled. And I'll be looking forward to introduce most of my friends who are into arts about the great things that they could do with NFTs. Thank you, Tezos Ghana.
Well, my name is Dorinda Delali, the General Secretary for College of Arts, Built Environments and Educational Studies. Well, I just want to say a big thank you to Tezos Ghana for coming to teach us how to monetize our arts, our real estate works, our designs and everything on the digital space. Guess what? When we are done with school, sometimes we go and stay in the house, there's no employment and all that. But Tezos Ghana came to us today to teach us how to monetize all the things that we learn in school on an international platform so that we don't get stranded at home. How best can we thank you? We just want to say a big thank you and God bless you.